Good morning. It is nasty outside right now. Holy crap. I've seen wow, it's bad. I've seen 6 lightning strikes right next to these buildings. I videotaped one actually. It's nasty out here. Good morning, everyone. Hold on, I'm watching this video. It's a nasty day. How's everyone doing? You might hear some thunder. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back. You got a position on Shop? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shopify's up big, baby. Yeah, I'm up $6,800 right now. $6,800 on Shop right now. Look at that little on the right there. Don't want to show my account number. 6,800. That's a big one. We'll see what happens. Nice job. Alter Ego, Shopify play. Nice job, man. Today I went potty all by myself. Nice curveball. Congrats. My power, I'd be shocked if my power doesn't go out right now. It's like a hurricane out there. The clouds are like right here. Well, we'll see. Let's get it going before my power goes out. We'll see what happens. All right. So good morning, guys. Welcome back. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Tuesday, June 6th. It's, I'm going to guess my power goes out here. If it doesn't, I'd be shocked. So if the stream just stops, just please know that power is gone and I probably won't make it back. So let's get started. So today, oh, it didn't show my little emoji. Damn it. June 6th, futures economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and start with that. Let's just get this started early. Try to get in as much as we can. For you guys that come early, you will get to be here. Hopefully we can be here the whole time, but we'll see what happens. Holy shit. So today, no economic news. Tuesday, June 6th, none scheduled. So nothing there on the schedule today. Tomorrow, trade deficit consumer credit. June 8th, jobless claims, wholesale inventories. And then Friday, nothing scheduled. So nothing too much here in the economic this week. Like we said yesterday, it's all about next week. CPI year over year, right? PPI on Wednesday. Jerome Powell speaking on Wednesday as well, FOMC. And then Thursday, jobless claims, retail sales. Friday, consumer sentiment. So some big stuff next week. This week, not much, right? This week, not much. Today, nothing scheduled on the docket. All right? Yeah, it's a glitch candle. Jay Price, morning, enjoy coffee. Have not said hello in a bit. What's up, Jay? How's it going, my friend? Thank you for the $5 donation. Michael, thank you, man. 10 bucks. Thank you guys for the donations. Appreciate that. So not much on the economic side this week. Really nothing on the earnings either. So nothing really to worry about on that side. Today, nothing scheduled. So Shopify swing, we'll go over that one. Beautiful, up about $7,000 right now. Really happy with this trade. This is a trade that I've been talking about for like 2 weeks now. Really happy I caught it. And to me, this is just the beginning of this trade. So we'll see if there's more upside. Tesla 217, big level. Apple all-time high rejection. Amazon has a really nice chart, actually. A really nice grind higher on Amazon. Google 127 is a big level to watch today. AMD 116 and Meta 269. All right, these are some really nice setups that I'm watching today. And to be quite honest, I probably won't do much today on the trading side. I'm probably just going to manage my shop swing. I might even add some next week's on shop to get the continuation move into next week. So we'll see. But those are the things we're going to talk about today. Let's get started. God damn, dude. It's nonstop. It's relentless. All right. Let's go NASDAQ. So yesterday, right? What did we get yesterday? Yesterday, we got a really nice demand hold, right? That's our level. Our level yesterday was around this 14,550 area. So we said, don't short the NASDAQ, right? If it's above this 14,550. Because this is a previous rejection. You see all this support that stepped in on Friday of last week. We were below it in the pre-market, but right into open, we regained this 550 level. And at that point, right, you're always looking for upside. So you got a nice upside push. You had a little bit of drama here. This was the wedge that formed yesterday. If you guys remember that, I think you guys, if you're in the chat, we were talking about this wedge. So yesterday, intraday, you formed this little wedge. And you wait to see which way it breaks. So right here, this is yesterday on the 2-minute. And right here, you saw a little intraday wedge form right there, right? So you can see 2-minute chart on NQ, a little bit of a wedge, right? Right at that supply. And then eventually you broke above the supply, you broke above the wedge. And then from that point, right here, that's where you got that continuation move intraday, right? Break of the wedge, break of supply, hold of supply, right? We held above it there, turning that previous Friday high right here, right? Turning that previous, it was really sort of down here, to to be honest. It's like 14.6, right? You can see right there, turning that previous Friday high at 14.6 into a support, wedged out of it, nice upside move, right? So you got that push intraday. Then you got this downside late day. This is most likely due to the Apple move that you saw off of the earnings or if the event. Apple always goes down on these events. It's always a little chaser's paradise type of thing. So big downside on that Apple event under 14.6. Where did we come back down to yesterday? Where did we hold after the downside came in? The 14.5 demand, right? The same demand that we talked about in the morning. We held it again after hours, right? So you can see right there, or not after hours, late day. 14.5 demand, turning 14.6 into supply, right? Now we zoom over, right? 14.6 supply, and that's exactly where we find ourselves this morning. So we go to the 5-minute chart. You guys can see today is all about, right? Today is all about 14.6 to 14.550. That's all you're watching, right? You're watching for either this for more upside, you're watching this for potential downside, or you're watching the supply rejections and the demand holds for short-term scalps, right? That's all you're watching. It's very easy, right? So would I want to be long at open today if the NASDAQ's under 14.6? Hell no, right? No. I'm not going to be long into this high, and I'm not going to be long into these rejections here. Does not make sense logically, right? Of course, I want the market to go higher because I have a Shopify swing trade. So, yeah, sure, I'd love to see the NASDAQ move higher. But, right, I'm not going to hope and pray that we break the supply on some short-term scalps. So, 14.6, right, big level. Watch that this morning on NQ. That is monstrous. That is a level that needs to break for us to get further upside. On the downside, I would not be, right, if the market tanks early morning, let's say you get that move, you know what people love to do? They love to chase puts into demand, right? If you go short here into this low of yesterday, into this low here of yesterday, into Friday's lows, right? If you start to enter short positions here because the market's down, market's going down, I'm buying puts, this is what's going to happen to you. You don't do that, all right? We've talked about this enough. If you come to the live stream, you should know by now how to play these channels. So 14.550, 14.6, you wait for the break and hold of either side, or you play the inverse of the move, right? You play the demand hold when it starts to hold here. You look for the supply rejection at 14.6 if it starts to set up, right? That's what you look for, all right? So 14.550, 14.6 on the NASDAQ, that's all you're watching today. Very easy. QQQ, it's around this 355.30 to around 354, right? Right here, all right? Same exact thing, guys. Same exact thing. Supply here, 355, 355.40. Demand below around this 354. Same exact thing, right? Nothing different than the NASDAQ. ES, same exact concept again, right? The concepts are very, very easy this morning. The technicals are making a lot of sense this morning, right? You can see this is the same concept on the ES. We go to the ES, 42.85, 42.74, right? You have that demand, that supply up here. You have the demand that stepped up here. You look for either rejections here, demand here, or you look for the break and hold of either side for continuation to one direction. That's all you do, right? But it's the patience, right? It's the belief in the level. That's the difference, right? It's the patience for this to actually break, to actually turn into rejections, to actually get a good downside play. It's that versus you going short here because you're too anxious, and then the market does this and you don't react to it, and then it bounces on you and you lose money. Why? Because you entered too early and you didn't wait for the demand to break. Same thing on the short side, right? If you long it here, on the long side, if you long it here before the demand breaks and you're anxious, you want to try to trade a breakout, right? This thing starts to sort of get weak. It pulls back. You say market's rigged. Why aren't we breaking out? Well, it's because you're longing into supply, right? So watch the supply, watch the demand. It's the same exact thing. If you break this demand below today, I actually think you can have some downside, right? I actually do like this downside into like the 42.40s if we can get that break of this low here, right? Here, 42.73, 42.75 area. So if you can break this little low here, then I think you can get further downside. That would be a pretty nasty break. If I go to like the 15-minute, you guys can see it right here, right? A break of this demand, this little double bottom, will probably lead to some nice slippery downside here on the ES. So watch out for that, all right? 4270, really 4274, 4273 area. SPY, it's around 426.50. You guys can see it, same exact concept, 426.50, 427.50. It's a dollar range. What I like to call this, shout out Rod. If Rod's in the voice chat, or if Rod is in the live stream, this is the no trade zone. All right, that's what I like to say. All right, the no trade zone. Why trade in here in a dollar point range when you can either look for the break and retest of the lows, break and retest of the highs, and wait for some continuation? Sure, right? Sure, you can catch some scalps in that $1 range. Sure, right? Absolutely. Not saying you can't. But I think the bigger opportunities, if you want to wait around for the bigger opportunities, it's on a break and hold above or break and hold below. All right? That's the futures. We can go to Russell real quick. Russell did not hold its 1820 level. So this is very key on the Russell. Something that you hopefully realized yesterday. I was looking to see if 1820 would hold yesterday. It did not, right? It did not on that retest. This is a failed break and retest, right? So you can see we came back down yesterday morning. We tried to hold, or we didn't even try to hold that retest, this 1820 area. Sort of just slipped right under it. And matter of fact, right, it actually did a break and retest to the downside, right? Look at that. That was actually a break and retest to the downside on the Russell. Yesterday, I was looking for this to hold and retest for upside, right? But you can see it. What it actually did, it broke and retested for downside. So that's very interesting, right? So that's something to pay attention to. That Russell's losing strength again, and it is now under a major 4-hour channel high, right? The Russell is back below that major 4-hour channel high at 1820. That's big, all right? Dow Jones rejected the exact level we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about all these highs right here around that 33.8, right? And just a really clean rejection of that. So watch out for that, right? Very clean Dow rejection yesterday. No reason, right? Makes a whole lot of sense. Just makes a whole lot of sense. Rejections, push, reject it once again. So watch that 33.8 on the Dow Jones. All right? But very clear levels on the ES and Q this morning, guys. You can see it right here. Here's your ES. Wait for a break of either side here. 42.74, 42.85 on the ES. NASDAQ, right? 14.6, 14.550. All right? Oh, man. Yeah, I figured this was coming. They sued Binance yesterday. Oh, man. My friend Larry's going to be loving this. He's probably going to call me right now. He was short coin like $64 with like 500 shares. I wonder if he still has it. Holy crap. This is Coinbase is not good. Coinbase is not good. Yeah. So that's ugly. Watch out for that today. Holy crap. We'll take a look at that in a second. All right, let's continue with the main topics here. But yeah, Coinbase. Whew. All right, Shopify. So 4-hour chart shop, right? You guys can see right here. This was what I've been watching. I was long down here around that 57, 58 area. Nice push yesterday. This is the move that I was really wanting to see. Nice upside on this little trend, right? You can see we're pushing up into the top side of this channel. Today's going to be crucial, right? Right around this 61.50 level, I think is a big watch for this Shop swing trade. I really want to see Shop hold this 61.50. So if I go to the 20-day, this is really where I want to see Shop hold as support today on any kind of pullback. So 61.50 here, 61.50 here, right? If we go over, we can see 61.50 support here, 61.50 support here. I really want to see 61.50 hold as support today on Shopify. I just got a text from Larry. SEC. I literally just got a text, as I said, from Larry. He said, what happened? Wow. Yeah. So, 6150. That's the big level. He's called. What did I say? What did I say? I can't answer now. So 6150 is what I want to see hold on shop for this swing trade, for me to feel more confident on it, for me to, maintain this position with good confidence. I want to see a 6150 hold here. If I go to the 4-hour chart, I think this has more upside personally. I think we can, if we see more strength on shop, I think we can test this high here at 65. I think that is very possible. If you can maintain this 6150, if you can break this downtrend, right? If you can break this channel, then I think you should see, or at least attempt, a push into this 6150. That would be my first target. 65, right? If we can hold that 6150, if we can maintain that level, if we can break this trend, then I want to see a push into this 65. That's my ultimate target there. On the weekly chart, I think there's even more on the weekly chart. Honestly, obviously the market is going to have to it's going to depend on if this market stays strong. On the weekly chart, right, if we're looking at measured moves here, I really think Shopify can trade into this 75 high right here, right? That's sort of my longer term target here on Shop. Probably not going to happen this week. Maybe it does. If it does, it's going to be a celebration over here in Miami. But if not, right, I'm going to try to get some next week contracts 2 weeks out and ultimately look for this measured move into this 75 area. That's really what I'm looking for, right? You have this push followed by a pullback. This push followed by a pullback. I'm looking to catch another one of these pushes, out of this weekly channel, right, into 75. That's sort of my long-term target here on Shopify. We'll see what happens, but that is my Shopify swing trade. Let me see. So that's, as of right now, here's what I'm up. I'm up $5,600. It's Interactive Brokers it goes back and forth. If you guys know Interactive Brokers, it flips the P&L goes back and forth in the morning. It's not always stable. But yeah, about $5,600, about $6,000 right now on that swing trade. So we shall see what happens. All right. Tesla. Let's continue. So, Tesla, yesterday, this 217 level was pretty important. It was this previous high from Friday, right? Friday here, previous double top high. We broke it, right? We broke that 217 late day. We held it intraday, right? You can see here, held, right? And then you can see previous highs, held his demand there in the morning. But Tesla never really quite got the juice for an upside push. We broke that 217 into that next demand at 215, held it, right? And now we're just sort of sideways. So really, for me, I don't think I would touch Tesla today unless it is below 215 or above this 218 area, this previous high from this pre-market around this 218, 219 area. Looks a little bit like it's probably going to, sort of chop people up in this little sideways channel here. I think you watch 217 today on Tesla. If Tesla can maintain 217, then maybe there's some upside continuation. If Tesla breaks under 217, which it just did here in the pre-market, then it probably tries to retest this 215 low. So I'd watch 217 sort of as that line in the sand, the middle of the seesaw here to see which way it wants to sort of trade today. I would use 217 as that level. So if we're under 217 today, I think you can probably look for a trade into 215. Except please be careful in the shorts at this 215, all right? 215 looks like some pretty decent demand down here, some demand from Friday. Be careful in the shorts in the 215. If you can break 215, then I like that for like a nice juicy downside move. If you can break that 215 low. So 217, 215, and then watch this pre-market high 218. I don't really love Tesla today, I'll be honest. There's some better setups that I like that we're about to talk about. I don't love this Tesla setup. It looks pretty shitty yesterday and looks pretty sideways this morning. You need to get out of this sideways action before I think you find any opportunity there. Apple. So this is, I'm not surprised one bit to see what Apple did yesterday. This is classic, Chaser's Paradise yesterday. Apple all-time highs. Everyone, oh my God, buy Apple through all-time highs. Here we go. It's just, classic trader psychology. So, Apple broke all-time highs. News event. Everyone's real happy and then tanks because that's what happens on Apple every time. So big move to the downside on Apple. Back into this demand at 178. Today, I would watch, really the trade that I'm most interested in on Apple, to be honest, is a break back under 176.50. This is really the trade that I'm looking for on Apple. I'm looking for Apple to come back under here and then maybe, push back to the downside. Because I know there's probably a lot of trapped longs. I think there's probably a lot of trapped longs here that we're sort of just chasing through all-time highs, and now they're sitting in it because they want it to come back. I think that if we break this 176.50 here, if we break under these lows here, right there, I would be looking for this short. That's really what I'm going to wait for on Apple. I'm not really interested in the upside. I have no interest in longing Apple into all-time highs. There's better plays out there. If you think about it logically, there's better plays that will likely push up higher than Apple through all-time highs. And I would rather be the one that tries to take advantage of maybe all these longs that would get trapped under 176.50. That's really what I'm looking for. That I just wanted to point that out. I would be very cautious, guys, trying to continue to trade Apple to the upside. It's at all-time highs. It's like one of the only tech stocks at all-time highs. I think it's going to have a problem just ripping and ripping and ripping through all-time highs here. So I'm going to look for the 176.50 retest rejection. That doesn't mean I don't love Apple long-term, right? I'm a big Apple shareholder, but, at some point it makes sense for some pullbacks. I would look to see if this little blow-off top potential leads to some downside under this 176.50. I'm simply just going to set an alert here. At or below, let's just do 176.60. If we start to get close to that level, I'll look to see if that trade starts to set up. That's what I'm going to watch on Apple. Amazon. All right, so Amazon. I actually really like the technicals that Amazon has been providing here over the last few days. It's actually been very clean. And today I'm really interested in this setup as well. So we had this little channel on Amazon, right? This 122.50 to around 120 level on Amazon. You had these highs, you had these lows. Very clear sort of channel here on Amazon. What happened after we broke out of it, right? We broke out of it. We held it as a demand. That was perfect, right? This is very clean, right? If we delete this real quick, look how clean this was, right? Previous highs into lows, right? That is very clean technicals. That's a break and retest hold for upside. So we're above that now, right? We're stair-stepping higher. Here's a stair. Here's a stair. We're stair-stepping higher. So previous highs into lows, right? Break and retest. Very nice. Upside. So yesterday, we pull back to these highs right here. What do? We hold it as a new demand, right? Very clear, right? Very nice. Clean technicals, right? You pull back. You hold these previous highs. Turn it into support. Now, today, we're looking to see what happens at 126. If we can get a little break and hold above 126, I will be looking for Amazon upside today. That would be very nice. I like this trend. I think it's strong. We're holding previous highs as new lows, right? We're sort of stair-stepping to the upside. If we turn this high here and this high here into a new low today, I will look for that upside continuation. I like that potential setup. If the market's weak today, if NASDAQ sort of gets hit by it for any reason, right, I would look for that supply rejection as well off 126 into 123.50 area, right? So nice clean technicals. If we zoom out on the 4-hour chart, right, you can see Amazon's been in a really healthy grind here. Let me see if there's any levels that I'm missing from, in the past here. Yeah, this 126 is pretty important. Yeah, it's right here. 126 is lining up with a lot of levels here. So if I extend this to the left, right, look at 126 back here. So 126 is important. 126, 126. Look at that double top right here. 126, 126, 126. That's a nice little triple top, actually. So it makes me more confident, right? If I see a legitimate hold over 126 today, then I know that we're breaking some key levels, And I know that if there's a really solid hold up here, that we could potentially lead to further upside. So that's something I'm going to look for today. I will also look for the supply rejection of 126 as well. If the market's weak, if the NASDAQ's weak, this could be a nice little supply rejection for a nice short-term downside trade. All right? I like that setup today. I sort of like how Amazon's been trading, so I'm definitely going to watch that. 4 hour on Google. This is a big one, 127. We've seen what happens off 127. All right, so let's look for it again. 127 rejection, 127 rejection, 127 rejection. So if the NASDAQ's weak today, what are we looking for? We're looking for Google to supply reject at 127. All right, very nice. 127 here. If we see some weakness on the market, right, if there's a weak NASDAQ move, let's say the NASDAQ is to break this 550 area, maybe trades back into the 450. If we get something like that, then we can look for Google to reject this 127. We can look to trade it back down to maybe this 124, 123, and have a good risk to reward. So I'll be watching that. I will also be open, if the market sees upside, I will also be open to Google holding above 127, right? Turning it into demand and looking for that upside play using 127 as my stop loss. So either way, right, you look at both sides. All you do is you understand the technical level, and you try to play off that technical level. Break and hold above 127, supply rejection of 127, look for either side, use that NASDAQ and ES to sort of guide your decisions, right? Use those technical levels on the futures to guide your decisions, whether the market's weak, whether the market's strong, holding demand, and then use the 127 level on Google to set up your trade idea. All right? AMD, nice little trade yesterday with the group. Nice live trade. If you guys caught that one with me, congrats. We were just playing off that 116. We talked about this one in the live stream yesterday. We talked about this demand. Actually, let me go to the 30 minutes. Here's the 30 minute. So you guys can see 30-minute chart, AMD. Where was the previous demand? 116. Very nice. Yesterday, we were opening at 116, right? We held that demand. Nice push to the upside. Caught this push on AMD. If I go down to the 2-minute chart, I can show you sort of where I got into this. 2-day, 2-minute. So yesterday, I got my entry after we held above the pre-market highs. So we had this little pre-market high right there around that 116.60. And so I started to see us hold above that here on the 2-minute chart. If I zoom in, you can see right here, we got above, we held above, we held above. We had a little bit of a flag set up, right here, a little flag set up at that previous pre-market high, turned it into some demand there. And so at that point, right, I go long. Now, why am I comfortable going long there? Why am I not scared to take that trade, right? Why am I not scared to take this trade? Because my stop loss is 60 cents below. I don't care, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I lose 60 cents on a contract or 60 cents on the underlying stock. I know I have 116 demand below. I know this is a solid level, right? I know this is a level that has my back, right? If however you want to think about it, it has my back, right? This level has my back. I know that the market's not going to just tank through 116. It could, but I know the odds are likely that 116 holds because I know there's demand there from the past. So if I go long at 116.60, then I know I'm only risking 60 cents. I know my plan. I'm not scared because I know my plan, right? My plan is stop under 116. I know demand's there. Let me take a shot here, risking 60 cents to potentially make $2, $3, right? That's a risk reward that you take all day long. So really nice trade yesterday. Made about $900 on this trade. Congrats if you guys caught this one. Long here at 116.60, scaled out into strength. Very, very nice. Very nice trade. Now, this morning, right? Look at this squeeze we got this morning. Why? Why did we get this squeeze? Probably because it's coming off demand. That's probably why, right? Because you're just coming off a 116 demand level, and maybe there's some more upside here. However, today, right, you can see this 120 level is very important. 120, 120, 120. I would not be long into 120, right? I would not be long into 120. The next long entry on AMD is a break and hold above 120. That's where you can look long again if you can get above that level. If not, AMD probably just trades within this 116, 120 channel. So I'd be careful on that. You can look for 120 supply rejections today. Maybe if you get another push into this 120, look to see if that supply steps in again for maybe some rejections, right? or look for that break and hold above 120. Either way, I would not touch AMD until it's at 120, right? That's how I would trade this. Your decisions, in my opinion, should only be made at 120. So I would only make a short decision here or a long decision here, right? But both decisions are made at the key level, right? We're not going to make short decisions at some random 118.85 level for God knows what reason, right? We're only making trade entries at the 120, whether it's short or long. At least we know where our stop loss is, right? If we go short off 120, that's our plan. We stop out over 120. Good risk to reward. If we go long over 120, we go long. We have a stop under 120. Good risk to reward. At least we know our plan. We short here, we have no idea where we're stopping out. We long here, we have no idea where we're stopping out. You're not going to be successful that way. Trade at the key levels. 120 today is the key level on AMD. That's what I'd be watching. Meta. Sort of like this setup on Meta again. I traded this yesterday. I'm willing to trade it again if it sets up again. 30-minute chart on Meta. I like this little 269 retest here. I'd like to see if we can get another pullback to this 269. If we can get a little pullback here again, I would not be opposed to looking long off this 269 again. Right? I think Meta still is strong. It's still holding above these previous highs. There is no reason to be looking short if a stock is above a previous high. Right? Just put that in your vocabulary. Put that in your trading tools. There is no reason to short a stock if it is holding above a previous high. What is bearish about Meta turning this previous rejection point into a hold level, right? It is not until a stock breaks back below, turns that level into a rejection, that you look for the short side play, right? Very easy if-then statement. If Meta is above 269, we are not looking to short this stock, right? If it breaks under 269 and it turns 269 into rejections, then we look for that downside and we look for that move into 262, right? So today, I'm going to be looking to see what Meta does on any kind of pullback. If we get a pullback to 269, I will look for a hold here, and I will look to see if I can trade this maybe back into this 274, 275 area. All right? So watch that 269 retest on Meta today here. See if that holds on once again. If it does not, then you could have potential downside. I wanted to go over Netflix because Netflix is holding a pretty key level still, right? This is the same concept as Meta, right? We're not going to short Netflix. Why are we not shorting Netflix? Because Netflix is still holding above 400, right? Look at this 400 hold on Netflix. You have previous highs here at 400, right? You have 400 holds right here, 400 holds right here, 400 holds right here. Where's Netflix today? It's still above 400. So if we get a pullback to 400, I'd be interested in longing off this level, right? Seeing what Netflix has done Thursday, Friday, and yesterday, all it's done is squeeze to the upside off 400. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to set an alert, create alert, at or below. Let's go 400.25. Let's go 50. So if we're at or below that 400.5, I'll get an alert. I'll see if that starts to set up. All right, I want to see if I can long at this 400 level. If not, then Netflix could just continue today. So just be careful of that. If you like Netflix long in general, right, you can take an early entry here. Just understand your stop has to be 400. So you need to target, if you're risking $4, you need to target at least $8. So you need to target at least 412 at the minimum, right? If your risk is 4, you need at least 8. Right, so you need at least a 2-to-1 here. So if you do want to long Netflix if you don't have the patience, you just need to understand that you need to scale down, right? The wider the stop, the smaller the position. The smaller the stop, the bigger the position. This is what I like to do, right? This is my trading style. I take very tight stops with large position sizes. I'm okay with this. If you want to do this, right, you can. Just understand that if you do large stops and large positions, you are going to get shafted, right? That's not what you want to be doing. I like small stops, very large positions, for me at least, rather than large stops and small positions, personally. But to each their own. But when you go, right, large stops with large positions, the rest. So that's sort of an idea there. Watch that 400 on Netflix. I like that as a demand level. Keep an eye on that zone. Yeah, Costco. I know people wanted to be looking at Costco. I don't mind Costco. It's a little bit of a slow mover these days, at least recently. But it is breaking out of this wedge, right? It is breaking out of this wedge on the weekly. You guys can see right here that weekly chart has broken out. That weekly chart has broke the wedge. Does it continue? Absolutely could, right? I think what you want to be watching here on Costco is this 513 level. If I go to the 15-minute and I go out a little bit here, I would look for this 513 area to hold on Costco. If you want to stay in this position, right, if you want to look for more upside, if you are in Costco, I would want to see at least this 513 hold on. That's the key for me, right? If we hold this 513, then I would look for upside continuation. So keep an eye on that 513 on cost. What else? Nvidia has done nothing. I have barely even looked to trade Nvidia lately. I have no interest in trading Nvidia in this channel, especially with the option premiums. I'm not even so sure if they're still up. I swear I haven't even pulled up an options chain on Nvidia in the last maybe 2 to 3 days. I have no interest in trading Nvidia here, and neither should you, right? There is no reason to be trading Nvidia in this mess, right? You're not going to make money trading this. It's not going to happen, okay? You might. If you do, I can guarantee you that you're not going to be able to replicate it. I would stay away from Nvidia. I think it's a total sucker's game right now. I think the options are probably still sort of expensive. They're just sort of melting those contracts. They're milking money out of you. I would stay away from it, personally. I would wait for a 400 break and hold for something real, or I'd look for a real downside move under like 370, 375. That's what I'm waiting for. I want to see a real break under these lows or a real break above 400. Until then, I'm just going to leave this thing alone. Of course, there could be trades in between this channel. Of course. I'm not saying there isn't. But I would rather be a player once this thing actually makes a real move. So that's my opinion on Nvidia. Cat's been sort of strong lately, huh? You're starting to see, but it's sort of rejecting that 220. I don't like that. It's a mess. Home Depot's done not much. Those were really the setups that I wanted to look at today. Coinbase. Let's take a look at Coinbase together. So Coinbase, big drop this morning. Some news with the SEC. Where's the next real demand here? The next real demand here is not until like 45. And it might actually, 47. I'd say anywhere between like this 47 and 45 is really your next area of demand down here. So be careful shorting now into that level. You're actually sort of getting into that level right now. What's this previous low? Hold on. 4-hour chart. Yeah. Okay. What's this previous low here? This previous low is 47.65. 47.65 is that previous low there. You could probably see some reaction under 47.65. Yeah, I think you could probably see some reaction under that, right? 47.65 here, 47.65 here. If you break that 47.65 here, and it actually is a big downside move, right? You could probably look for this 30. If you make back this downside or this upside here, I'd watch 47.65. I'd watch 47.65 today. It's starting to try to hold that right now. Look to see if that gives that up. If that gives that up, you can get downside continuation. But I would not be shorting coin right at the open into 47.65. I'd wait to see if maybe it gives you a little dead cat bounce, or if you can break under 47.65. Microsoft. Yeah, I haven't really been trading Microsoft lately. It's been sort of slow in this little grind. What is this? 338. So 338 clearly is a tough one. All right, you can see right there, 338. That little flag. Remember this flag we talked about? That was sexy. Look at that. So this is now demand, right? 331. What's this big level I got up here? Oh, that's all-time highs. Okay. I mean, it's the sort of the same concept as Apple, guys. I'm just not interested in trading stocks at all-time highs, to be quite honest. There's so many other stocks that I feel like have opportunity that maybe make more aggressive moves. I don't really want to mess around with all-time highs. So you can see up here this 344, 350 area on Microsoft. That's all-time highs right up here, right up here. This little 344, 350 area, that's all-time highs. I would say you either look for supply rejections of 338 or look for demand holds of 331. That's really it. Those are really the only two trades that you have here. You're not going to just play in this mess of a channel, right? You can't trade in this type of action. You have to wait for these key levels to hit. You need to either wait for this supply rejection to step in, right, at 338, or you look for a demand hold at these lows and at these lows here, right? Those are the only two trade entries that I could recommend, right? A supply rejection here, a demand hold at 331. If it's not that, right, again, no trade zone. No trade zone. Either supply rejections 338, demand holds 331. That's what I'd be looking for. AbbVie, yeah, I'm in an AbbVie swing trade. It's 2 weeks out. I might take even more time today because I do still like this trade. If I go to the daily chart, I'll show you why. It's really small right now. I had like $200 left of buying power when I took this trade. So I like it, right? I'm going to continue to try to trade this. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I do like this demand low at 134. I like these channel lows at 134, right? I like that it's in the XLV. I think the XLV has potential for more upside. The healthcare sector into this 134 area, right? You can see every single time it hits this demand low, you get a push towards that 134. So if there's more upside on this XLV, then I'm looking for more upside on AbbVie into this 145 level. I purchased $500 worth of shares yesterday. I'll continue to purchase shares of AbbVie for that divvy, right? Shout out divvies. Yeah, I like it. But you guys got to trust it, guys. You got to trust it, right? Same thing with Shopify. I trusted the setup. I trust this setup. So I'm going to continue to hold it until we break under probably this 134. All right, if we break back below this 134, then I think that setup probably sort of gets broken. But if we continue to maintain, then I'm going to continue to look for that push in the 145 it's just a long-term trade idea. That's all it is, right? There's nothing wrong with taking this trade, right? What has it done every other time it's been at 134? Right? This is where your human emotions get into your mind, right? If you longed at 134 here, you made money. If you longed at 134, you made money. If you did it here, you made money. If you did it here, you made money. If you do it here, why are you thinking, well, maybe this time it doesn't do it? Why not just do it? Why not just take your shot, right? Take your good risk to reward. And if you're wrong, you walk away like a man and you take your loss. But at least, right? At least you took a good trade, right? You took a trade that made sense on the technicals. You made a good trade in risk reward, right? It makes sense. Right? It makes a lot of sense. I'm taking this trade all day. I'll take a $200, $300, $400 loss. I don't care. Right? Technicals make sense. Risk reward makes sense. I like the XLV, healthcare. So you take the trade. But if you can't afford to take those types of trades, right, then obviously I think you're maybe undercapitalized, if that's even a word. You have to be able to take these kinds of shots. You have to be able to take these kinds of trades that have good risk reward, good trade ideas. And just focus on the setup, focus on the levels on the chart, and don't let your emotions sort of, sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage yourself in not trusting what you're looking at. So for me, I take this trade, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. All right? That's all I got. Let's take a quick look at the futures again. NASDAQ still stuck in this channel. Nothing has gone on here since we started. ES still stuck in the channel. Shopify pulling back to that 6150. Keep an eye on that 6150 today if you're interested. Sort of rejecting the top side of this downtrend, right? So you can see right there, that's going to be big. All right, guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. If you did, if you could press that like button, that would be fantastic. We got about 1,600 people here, 500 likes. Just about 1/3 of you have pressed the like button. If we could get that to 2/3, we would hit 1,000 likes just like that. I'd appreciate that. Your support means a lot to the channel. Your support keeps the channel alive. So it's not without you guys that we can do this on a daily basis. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming here every single morning. If you're waking up, every 1,600, 1,800 of you that come here pretty often, if you're waking up watching this, I hope you're getting value, and I give you a pat on the back, because if you're doing it, you're hopefully learning something. You're bettering yourself. You're doing something better than what a lot of people are doing. Laying in bed, doing jack shit in the morning, smoking weed, wake and bake, just doing nothing. It's those little things, man. So I hope you guys are learning something. I hope you guys are improving yourselves every single day with us here on the live stream. If you are, congrats. Well done. I applaud you. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Peace.